This is a Dark Illumination Report Extra with RJ Womack.
Hey everybody, this is RJ Womack, aka Brother Nero, and this is the Dark Illumination Report podcast, where we try to put the focus of Satanism back where it belongs, on the religious worship of Satan and demons. And we also try to give our fellow Satanists tips to help them improve their lives. Today we're going to continue where we left off, talking about idols and different ways to utilize them in your religious practice. One of the things I wanted to talk about was something that I forgot, which is that the ancient Egyptians used the open mouth ceremony to bring life to the idol that they use. That's the way they invite the gods into the idols that they use for worship and to honor the gods, is they use the opening mouth ceremony where the priest would come in and basically breathe life into the statue. The Hindus do a similar thing by anointing and saying prayers over the statues that they use to represent their gods. They go through a pretty elaborate ceremony and they anoint the statue with oils and incense and things to bring life to the statue. So this is a very ancient practice. Also, the Yazidis use the statue of the Sanjak. And for those of you who don't know what the Sanjak is, it's a little statue of the peacock representing Melekteus. And basically they bring that out and they worship that. And it's a universal thing. So I think using statues as a focal point is a really good idea. And as I said in the last episode, when we talked about this, I think anything that brings back ancient traditions, anything that brings back traditions that are pre-Christian is always a good thing. And when it comes to Satanism, because we are so visual, because we are so media-oriented nowadays, I think having a statue and even going so far as to have a shrine would be a positive thing for Satanists, especially if you're not particularly spiritual and you have a hard time focusing. Like if you have a difficult time doing meditation and things like that, I think using a statue would be a great focal point, especially if you're one of those people that's heavily into video games and individuals and into art. I think anything you can do to develop your religious area, your shrine, your altar area, to make it more visually appealing, to get you to focus in and change your mindset, to let yourself know that psychologically that you're going into a different space and this is a sacred space and you need to alter your mindset. I think anything you can do to help that is a good thing. I also want to mention, just as a little side note, for me, I've always used Nag Champa incense. And while some people would say that's kind of white light, kind of Buddhist kind of, or Indian incense or whatever, for me, I've used Nag Champa for so long and I love the flowery smell of it that it is automatically a sign to my brain that we're about to do something religious. Anytime I smell that smell anywhere or in any kind of occult shop, my mind automatically goes to the spiritual and goes to a connection with the spirit world. So for me, it's become almost programmed into my brain. So I wouldn't use anything else unless it was for a specific ritual purpose. So that just goes to show the power of, sense and imagery. And if you use it long enough as a meditative tool, as a religious tool, it becomes ingrained in your psyche and almost becomes something that allows your subconscious to automatically alter, its state of being. Before I finish this episode, I want to talk a little bit about the new logo that I created. I think it's important to point out exactly what it means because it has a very specific meaning to me, a religious significance. Now, to me, the obsidian heart, which is what it's made out of, is symbolic of the heart of the Satanist. The obsidian is important because it's basically volcanic glass and it's created obviously in volcanoes under high heat. But the heart itself represents the heart of the Satanist, and that Satan is within, and the belief in Satan comes from within. And you must have the black flame, and you'll see the black flame subtly referred to by the flames coming off the heart. must be something that is within. It must be something etched in your soul, etched in your heart. It's not about what you wear. It's not about wearing t-shirts or having tattoos or having a certain image, because image can be surface. Anybody can fake an image. I can put a Christian in a black metal t-shirt. That doesn't make you a Satanist. What makes you a Satanist is that devotion that you have to Satan, what you feel in your heart. It's based on your actions, not your appearance. And it's sad because people tend to focus on how something looks or how something appears or the way people appear to be. And what they should be doing is looking at what people actually do. Don't listen to what people say. Don't listen to what people look like, or don't pay attention to what people look like. Pay attention to what they do and how they live. And if you're living the satanic lifestyle, then it should be evident in the things that you do every day, not on what you look like. And so many people are so obsessed with, oh, I must wear this t-shirt. Oh, I must have this tattoo. But there are people that get satanic tattoos and then leave the satanic religion a couple of years later. So just remember that the whole idea of this symbol is to remember that Satan is etched in your heart. He's in your soul. The commitment that you make to him is eternal. It doesn't change with the trends. Your devotion to Satan doesn't change whenever things get difficult or whenever you don't get what you want. Your devotion to Satan is eternal. And that's why the heart has etched on it, forsake me not. The forsake me not comes from a religious text that I consider to be inspired and I consider to be sacred. And it basically states, or Satan reminds us in that text, that there will come times in your life when people will turn away, when they will turn away from him and they will forget about him and they will take the easy road. And they'll say, oh, but I want people to see me as smart and intelligent. So I must think of Satan as an archetype. I must think of Satan as a symbol. And really, it's just a symbol of my higher self. And after all, if I actually say that I actually believe in Satan or that I actually love and care about the demons or I care about my religion, I'm considered ignorant or stupid. And that's the whole point of all of this, is to remind you that don't worry about what other people say. Don't worry about what other people think. Worry about what Satan thinks. Worry about the commitments that you've made to Satan. Worry about your devotion and your eternal commitment to Satan. Make sure it's in your heart and soul, and it's not based on what some stupid idiot has to say on social media. Remember, all the people on social media are not your friends. If you've never met them and they're not a part of your daily life, they're not your fucking friends. Stop making your decisions about your spiritual life based on what some idiot on Facebook says, or what some idiot on Twitter says, or what some video that somebody puts up on YouTube says. And I'm even saying that for me. You take the advice that I give you in this podcast and you use what works for you. You use the advice that helps you to become a better Satanist, that helps you develop your relationship with Satan, and you disregard the part that doesn't work for you. That's fine. That's called an intelligent individual, an intelligent person who takes the time to evaluate the information that they've been given. You're not a lemming. You're not a robot. You're not programmed. That's being a Satanist. Anyway, that's it for my rant today. I'll see y'all guys next time. Take care. May Satan be with you. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Illumination Report podcast. For the latest news headlines, show information, and more, go to rjwomack.com. That's rjwomack.com.